Hello, everyone.
Oh,
Awesome.
go ahead. No, you go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say Erica has the book today. She's going to be leading the way. So let's get into it.
I believe we're on scenario 5, right? Yeah, I
Yeah.
think.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So, yeah, we've gotten almost all the way through. I have 3. All right. So, scenario 5. You're a student at one of the best business schools in the world. You have a high GPA, run a couple of student organizations, and are well positioned to get lucrative job offers. Most of your fellow students are interviewing at investment banks, management consulting firms, or Silicon Valley tech companies. You believe that you could land those jobs too, but after setting up an e-commerce store last summer, you're fascinated by the idea of selling your own hoodies full time. It's coincidence. It's not mine, but it's coincidence. Anyway, your online store is currently bringing in only 5,000 per year on the side, and you've got 61,000 in student loan debt. What would you do?
Mm-hmm. And
That's
what's the setup? The beginning, I got the $5,000 and the 60,000 in debt. And the beginning part is saying that,
okay. So the beginning is saying that you're a student at one of the best business schools in the world. You have a high GPA, and like pretty much
mm,
you're like real position, and you got job offers just flowing in, but
right,
found your passion, what
to
you
make
like to
hoodies.
do, and selling hoodies. However,
Mhm.
it's only making about $5,000 a year at this time.
Okay, lead the way. Take it. What do you think?
Um, that's a doozy right there, because like your first mind is go for what you love. Well, actually, well, my first mind would be go for what I love, right? All things aside, that I take the 61,000, put it on the back burner. We're gonna do that.
Okay.
But I do believe. I mean, that was my first mind. But if I sat and gave it some thought, I would probably. And this is my opinion. And I haven't read any of this. Actually, we're doing this as we go. But I would,
Mhm.
if he has job offers falling, in from the sky, why not use those job offers to fund your passion? Like, you have to do
Right.
it. It's a side hustle. You're able to do it right now as a side hustle, 5,000. So you can continue the side hustle doesn't have to stop.
Mm-hmm.
You can
Mm-hmm.
build it at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, but that's
Yeah.
just my opinion. Like I said, I haven't read it and the rest of like I've been debating on should I like read ahead and stuff like that or whatever. Because I slowed down a little bit a while back. Like I read up a couple chapters and I just stopped. And I've
Mm-hmm.
been like just doing it every Sunday. I mean Sunday. I don't do it on Sundays. I've been doing it every Friday, just like without reading it. But anyway, that would be my thing. Like after I sat with it for a while, I would probably it would make more sense
Mm-hmm.
to take the job offer
To
and
take the job offers. Yeah. I think so. I totally agree. Like, first of all, your passion, the society, bills, okay, even livelihood of like to finding gas to eat. Don't care about how you get the money, so you have to be able to sustain yourself and sustain your mental, you know what I mean, through getting that money. I would say find a job that allows you that free time, and GaryVee, he speaks to that too occasionally, where he's like, you know take the Taj or Ty guy, I think it's Taj. He got he was got a job at T-Mobile, and he was able to record a lot of TikTok videos and blew up that way. Like, do something that's not so demanding, you know what I mean, to where you can still like do your side hustle on the side. And also too, but if it is like from the money perspective, you can just come in on the CEO part. And if you really are making bank, put a little bit towards, the debt for school, put some towards your business, but also put some to delegate. Keyword, you know what I mean? To delegate and pass that task along, because you don't need to develop a website, pay somebody to do it. You're able to do that because you got that job offer that affords that luxury to do that. You know what I'm saying? Because
right.
time is money, essentially. You're, paying somebody's paying you for your time, but you can take that payment and pay somebody else's for theirs, so that you can, you know what I mean? It's all like a flow in a way. And so, yeah, that's my take on that. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're both in agreement that taking a job offer would make a lot more sense than just trying to like go full time with the side hustle, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Agreed.
Um, let's see here. Let me skim this. Give me like 3 seconds real quick.
Okay.
It's something that I wanted to start doing too, and that was one of the reasons why I was debating on should I read ahead
Mm-hmm.
before, and because I want to, kind of like depict or kind of like dice up whatever Gary has to say.
I was just thinking about that too. Yeah, like what
Mhm.
has he said about it?
Like
Mm-hmm.
my perspective is, but there's another perspective here, and I've tried not to. My reason for not jumping forward is to make sure that I'm clear on mine. You know what I mean? But
Mm-hmm.
I think
And
it's
not what
important
Gary
to
said. Yeah.
like we kind of like touch on that. He does go on to say that, I mean, if you're going to make this jump, first thing you have to realize is that the world is going to tell you no. So,
Mm-hmm.
whew.
Make the jump towards the business. Right.
Yeah, I
Right.
feel attacked. I mean, I feel seen.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. But anyway, but yes, that makes sense. I mean, and just to kind of skip around there, um, let's see, blah, 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 blah. You'll also need patience. It's going to take many exciting years for your store to go from 5,000 a year on the side to a place to where you won't feel anxiety on the $61,000 loan.
Yeah.
And I guess that's if you just choose to stick with that versus going with a job offer. But
Mhm.
yeah, I think I'm research on how we do this that way because I do think it's important that we touch bases on what he has to
What
say.
Gary has to say. Yeah, for sure. And I
Read
think,
his
yeah, we
book,
can
right?
start to read ahead so that we can get the full, because I think for the last scenarios, for those that are watching too, you guys, let us know in the comments, what
That
you
part.
think we should do too. And we'll definitely like go with that. Or if it's split, we'll do a little bit of both here and there. And so yeah, I think that for well, with what Gary had to say so far, as far as the patience thing, one of the things that I wanted to say is that I would take the perspective of not even looking at the 60,000. So I'm curious to see, like he's saying, okay, if you go with the business and you're not gonna take the job offer, whatever that route is, um, yeah, I wouldn't even personally me with debt and everything. I would just be like, okay, I'll pay what I can up until that point, or wait until baby daddy Biden, Yeah.
And there you go. And I just read this, like I just scanned on this right here. He says you're going to need a large dose of optimism.
That part, yes,
Boom.
yes. So what we'll do is we'll touch back on this next week, and then really give like a full perspective of like the whole section. Yeah, but I'll still upload this one too. I think it's good content.
It's cool bean. All right. Did you want to do say scenario 6, and we could come back and touch intro with the touchback on this, and then look at us working
Yeah.
it out right in
Okay.
front of y'all. Like anyway, and we can come back and with the intro on last week after we've read what he said, and
Okay.
then we could just give a touch on
Little glimpse of the scenario. Yep.
and do
Let's
the
do it.
same thing with that.
Yeah. Let's do this. So we're gonna do scenario 6 right now, just kind of like touch on it.
Yeah,
You
just
mean?
touch on it, and then we can come back, do that for the intro, and then we could go ahead and not read ahead. We'll touch on 7 and 8, and then
Next week.
mm-hmm.
I like the group. Yes.
That's a
Okay.
good flow right
Cool. Let's do
there. Okay, cool.
it. Okay.
Okay, do that. Okay, so scenario 6. You're a fitness influencer who started creating content on Instagram early. You were able to quickly grow to 1 million engaged followers and build community. You then started a successful business selling protein supplements and workout apparel. However, as the platform matured from 2015 to 2021, your growth has stagnated and sales have declined for 6 straight years. You passed 1 million followers quickly, but 6 years later, you're only at 1.7 million.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. So
I'm
what
lost
you
on
think?
this one. I'm lost on
Okay.
this
Okay.
one. Like
I
this is
feel
why I
it
hire
because
somebody because mm,
right. Okay. I would say for me, it's really to be proactive. Like hearing that, I don't know what I would do, honestly.
Right.
We'll say I'm going to learn from it because I know when I hear it, I'm like, wow, there are probably a lot of people in that same boat. But that goes to like, you cannot put all of your eggs in one bucket. You know what I mean? It should have been, you know, you thinking outside of Instagram, should have been thinking outside of it. For those right now are really probably experiencing it with TikTok. They should already be getting ready to move
Or the
around,
next
you know?
thing for Twitch or High
Mhm, mhm.
or all those other different apps.
Exactly.
You
And
gotta
that
stay
even
ahead of
goes
the
to
game.
show,
Everybody else going right. Go ahead.
yes, yes, okay. And that goes to show too, prep for these NFTs that's gonna come through because this downtime is
Mm.
best believe it's coming up. You know what I'm saying?
Right
Because
now, it's the education
technology.
process.
It's the education process and also building your community too, thinking like what can you do to build your community around NFTs? I think that's a great way to like look outside of it. But at any height of your business, I feel like you got to have money you got to take that money and not say, oh my gosh, I'm going to put it into this lifestyle. It's going to be amazing. I'm going to buy some property. I'm going to invest in something that's going to give me passive income for when it possibly may fall off because there's going to be downtime. Think about when an artist goes on tour, they're probably not going to put out another album for another 3 years max. You know what I mean? Or max-ish. What do they do in that downtime? They got to make that stuff spread. And then you can use what investment money you have to put back into your business to keep it alive when it is down. And so, yeah, that's how I see that too. Like not even in the one business bucket, but in the like, even though I have a running business, where else can I put this money while it's popping somewhere else so that I can still have money just in case, because it's really likely that shit might not work in it from multiple ways. So yeah.
You gotta sit up here and agree with me telling me you don't know what you would. Girl, you just laid out the blueprint right there. She's like, I don't know what to do, but here goes your success winning blueprint. But
But that's the aftermath. They caught in that aftermath. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like that would be tough. But yeah. Like beforehand, this is what I'm gonna try to do so that don't happen.
right. It's like right now, like I don't know what to do. You missed the threshold where you should have been prepared.
Okay, I'm like, so that'll be really curious. I will be very curious to see what GaryVee says and if he's gonna be like, I'm curious. Yeah, I'm just curious to see what he's gonna say.
That point.
Because I don't know how you get out of that. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, just to kind of like scroll through to give like I guess a preview or build up some, momentum to next week. Um, I'm just gonna read because it's right here from this paragraph to this paragraph. I'm gonna read these two paragraphs real quick. This is like two and a half. Anyway, um, let's see here. This sounds like a story of complacency, which is why accountability and humility are two important ingredients to deploy. If you have ambition to grow, you'll have to eat some humble pie in this situation from 2015 to 2021. While your business stagnated, you probably watched others grow from 50K to 5.2 million followers because they strategized more efficient. They did what you said do in the beginning. They prepared.
Mm-hmm.
They strategized more effectively, more consistently, and had more talent. If you have been kind to others on your way up,
Ooh. Oh, I remember. I think I did read this part. Yeah.
I don't know if I should read this or if I should save it. I haven't read it, and it just sounds like
Okay. No, go ahead. Go ahead. Mm-hmm.
it said if you've been kind to others on your way up, then this is where that karma can come back to help you. When
Mm-hmm.
when people are at their peak, they unfortunately tend to be unkind or indifferent to
Mm-hmm.
others. But as the saying goes, the people you meet on the way up are the same ones you see on
On
your
your
way
way
down.
down.
That
Yes.
influencer who built an audience of 50K up to 5.2 million remembered your kindness back in the beginning, then maybe that friendship could turn into a partnership. I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
leave it right there. I'm not gonna read it anymore. It goes
That's
on.
hot. That's hot. Yeah, that's
Mm.
real too. Like, yeah, man.
But
That's
it's so crazy because you can only backdoor it with like everything, every episode before this one, everything that we went over as far as all the traits, the 12
mm-hmm.
ingredients.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
If you
That's real.
follow that and you know what I'm saying, like you embody that, then this is it's a no-brainer. I mean, it makes so much perfect sense because like boom. To me, that was
Mhm.
like a all come together moment. But
Where everything really works. Because yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And I can see too, like, yeah, why wouldn't someone
and
who you have a good relationship with who might also have a face, you know what I mean? And yeah, the partnership
not
thing to
doing
me.
things for the expectation of that, but
No,
just
no.
genuinely being a good person. Because I
Right.
mean, actually, if
Yeah.
you just think about it, it's all about just being a decent human being. Like, and it's sad that I'm not gonna say it's sad because this book is much needed. Like, but it's crazy that it takes that for some people. I mean, for some people, they would even just take the book to realize. You know what I mean? Mine
Hmm.
And not to say for those that that it does just take that they're any whatever because everybody on their own cycle, everybody on moving on their own time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
baby, if you read the book today and it just done like hey,
Yeah.
you know
More
what I'm
power to
saying?
you. Yeah.
But I'm
Hmm.
saying that's just being part of being a good human being. You know what
Person.
I mean?
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
my opinion, I'm gonna leave it
Hmm.
at
Yeah,
that.
because that karma is real. It really is. Yeah, it really is.
Part.
Hmm. I love it.
Okay.
Okay. Well, we'll be back next week, guys. We will have read these, chapters and the next two so we can get into the next scenarios. But I really want to start thinking about our next book. Let's brainstorm this for the last 4 minutes while we're here. I want to
Oh wait,
think.
we want to
Oh,
pause
wait.
real quick. I
Oh,
want
yeah, we can
to
pause.
say this real quick. I got beef with Gary because he has a follow-up question for 6, but he doesn't have a follow-up question for 5. So,
Mm,
but
okay.
anyway, uh,
Yeah.
uh, okay, it's all good. We can go ahead and we'll touch back on that. But go ahead.
Okay.
Oh, the
Okay.
next one.
Oh, wait. Are we recording still?
Oh, should I cut this off?
I mean, I didn't know. That's
Oh
what I
wait,
thought we
it's a
were.
scoop. Like we don't want to give too much away. They don't need to know.
Okay, okay. Okay, so then go
Okay,
ahead.
so
Okay.
we'll be back next week with another episode of 12 and a Half. I'm just kidding.
Yes, okay. 12 and a half and cut. Nice.